Hi, everyone, and welcome to another star-spanning episode of
The Dungeon Crashers.
I'm Guy.
And I'm Zephyr. And before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our exciting D&D content. In our last video, we did a character based on one of the races from the new Spelljammer setting, a Hadesy Artificer Eldritch Knight. That was what we think is a very compelling character, and we hope you will take a look at it. We are currently playing Spelljammer, and we are having a great time with it, so we thought we would continue with it and make another character from that story. The Hadesy was designed to be the unlikely hero archetype, the everyman sort, who gets passed into the role of the hero by circumstances. This time we are going to be making the captain of that fine ship, and the one actually seeking adventure. Our captain is an astral elf, which is another one of the races from the new Spelljammer, and it is an excellent one. It is similar to the race that we've used a few times, the Shatterkai elves. While the astral elves have a very different background, they have many things in common. Unlike the Shatterkai who left the Feywild for the Shadowfell, the astral elves left for the astral sea in order to be closer to their gods. Time passes differently on the astral sea, and things don't age. The elves living there are effectively ageless. On the material plane, they live up to 750 years, but on the astral sea, many live to be far older. Life on the astral sea has changed them and given them certain abilities. They have a starry gleam in their eyes, resulting from a trait called astral fire, which also gives them a cantrip from among light, dancing lights, and sacred flame. They can choose intelligence, wisdom, or charisma for the casting stat when the character is created. Like all elves, they gain the trance ability and don't sleep and can finish a long rest by resting for 4 hours. When they finish the trance, they can call upon the astral memories and gain a skill or proficiency of their choice until they finish the next long rest. They also gain Starlight Step, allowing them to use a bonus action to teleport 30 feet a number of times per long rest equal to their proficiency bonus. This is similar to the Shatterkai ability, but doesn't give them any additional abilities when they use it. They also get the typical abilities of elves. They are medium size, have a 30-foot movement speed, a 60-foot dark vision, keen senses giving them proficiency with the perception skill, and Fey Ancestry giving them advantage on saves to avoid or end the charmed condition.
Now, Astral Elves get the flexible ability scores common with the newer 5e races, which are 3+1 ability increases that we can put wherever we like, but not more than 2 on the same ability. We're going to put an 8 on strength. We don't really need it, and we'll have athletics proficiency to make up for it. We put 15 on dexterity, making it 17 with 2 of our bonuses. 14 on constitution. We need to be hardy to be a sailor. 10 on intelligence. We're no genius, but we have a good head on our shoulders. A 13 on wisdom. Perception is key for a sailor, and it's going to be our casting stat. And finally a 12 on charisma. While we prefer to lead by example, a captain needs to command her crew. For background, we are taking the Marine. We weren't always a captain and served on many ships, both elven and otherwise, and have experienced battle both on the astral sea and upon land. The background was intended for ocean sailors, but can easily be adapted. It gives proficiency with athletics and survival, as well as both land and water vehicles. The water vehicles will, for our purposes, also include spelljamming vessels, but those have their own rules as well. As part of the background, we have endured a great hardship. There is a table to choose from, but the one we like is that for days we hid in the bilge of an enemy vessel, living on brackish water and unwary rats until we found an opportunity to sneak above decks and gain control of the ship. Perhaps this is the same ship you're commanding now, and your crew might include sailors who sided with you over their former captain. Also, your experiences have hardened you to the less glamorous sides of warfare, such as forced marches and difficult landings, and you can move for 16 hours without suffering the effects of a forced march, and can always find a route to land a vessel safely. At the end of the last video, we said that we would be making an almost single-class ranger. This could easily be a single class, but one level cleric will not only give us a number of useful abilities, it will fit with the Astral Elves' connection to their gods, and it will fit with our subclass, which is devoted to defending against extraplanar evils. For our first level, we are taking ranger. We get proficiency with all weapons except firearms, light and medium armor, and strength and dexterity saves. We get 3 skills from the ranger list, and we want insight, investigation, and stealth. We are extremely perceptive and notice subtle cues about people reactions. We are also skilled in hiding and ambushing. We also gain expertise in a skill, and we're going to take it in perception to make us even more aware of our surroundings. We also gain the ability Favored Foe that allows us to mark a creature we hit with an attack. The mark lasts for up to a minute depending on concentration, and once per turn, a creature you hit with an attack takes a d4 additional damage. We can use this ability a number of times per day equal to our proficiency bonus. We also gain proficiency with 2 additional languages. As we mentioned before, our racial ability gives us 1 cantrip, and we want Sacred Flame. Our other options, Light and Dancing Lights, aren't really necessary as we have Dark Vision. For our starting equipment, we want studded leather armor, a rapier, and a pistol. We aren't currently proficient with the pistol, but can use our Ancestral Memories ability to gain proficiency each day until we get it. And from our background, we also have a dagger that belonged to a fallen comrade.
At second level, we are going to take that single level of cleric. Even though we have always had a strong connection to the divine, our struggles have deepened our faith and awakened us to the perils around us that need to be opposed. We have put our faith in our people's war god to strengthen us for the challenge. We gain proficiency with heavy armor, although we aren't likely to use it. We also gain spell casting. We get 3 cantrips from the cleric list, and we want guidance, mending, and word of radiance. Word of Radiance causes the enemy within 5 feet to make a Constitution save or take 1d6 damage, which will increase as we level up. We gain 2 spell slots, and we are a prepared caster, and can prepare a number of spells equal to our level plus our wisdom modifier, which is 3. Good spells to prepare are Healing Word, Bless, and Command. As we are a War Domain Cleric, we also get Shield of Faith and Divine Favor always prepared, and they don't count against the number we can prepare. Also, as a War Cleric, we gain the War Priest ability, allowing us to use our bonus action to make a weapon attack after taking an attack action. We can do this a number of times a day equal to our Wisdom modifier, which is 2 for now. At 3rd level, we're going back to Ranger for the rest of this build. At 2nd level Ranger, we gain a fighting style, and we will be taking dueling. We don't want the 2-weapon style, as we are going to have a number of uses for our bonus action. Archery would be an excellent alternative to improve our accuracy with our pistol, but we see this character as more of a flamboyant captain, dueling with her rapier and using the pistol as a secondary weapon. We also get spellcasting. As a multi-class spellcaster, our spell slots will be different than if we have a straight ranger, and we will use the table on page 164 and 165 of the player's handbook. We currently have 3 first-level spell slots. As a ranger, we are not a prepared caster and instead get a list of spells known, and we can choose 2 from the ranger list. The first we want is Hunter's Mark, which allows us to choose a creature, and that creature takes additional 1d6 damage from all of our attacks. This requires our concentration, so will not work with our favored foe ability, but is generally better if we can spare a spell slot. It lasts for an hour, and if the chosen creature dies, we can use a bonus action to move it to another as long as we have not lost concentration or until the spell ends. We already have Divine Favor from War Cleric, which adds a d4 to all of our attacks and also requires concentration, and doesn't limit us to a single target, but Hunter's Mark does more damage, has a longer duration, and gives us advantage on perception and survival checks to track or find it. So we will choose which is better depending on the situation. The second is Hail of Thorns. We cast it as a bonus action, and the next time we hit a target with a ranged attack, the target and each creature within 5 feet of it makes a dexterity save or takes a 1d10 piercing damage. The spell lasts a minute and uses our concentration, so it would be best to cast it before using Hunter's Mark.
And at 4th level, we take 3rd level Ranger, and we get our Conclave, and we want the Horizon Walker. The lore for this is that we protect the material plane from extraplanar evils. This lore might not apply as well to Spelljammer, as this setting uses a very different form of astral travel, but it should be easily adapted to the setting. We actually don't know exactly how your DM will choose to do this. Appeal and I are both players in our Spelljammer game, so knowing a lot about the character options, but less about the setting as a whole. But based on what we know of the original Spelljammer, the DM might alter your ability to detect planar portals to allowing you to detect crystal spears or something similar. Of course, other than the race, nothing about this build is specific to that setting, and it can be used in most campaigns. The Detect Portal ability allows you to detect the distance and direction of any planar portal within 1 mile, but ask your DM how it will work if you're playing in Spelljammer. We can use this ability once per short or long rest. The other ability we get is Planar Warrior. This allows us to use a bonus action to choose a creature within 30 feet, and the next time we hit that creature with an attack, our weapon deals force damage and does an additional d8. This doesn't require concentration, so works just fine with Hunter's Mark. We also get Horizon Walker Magic, getting spells prepared for free at certain levels. At this level we get Protection from Good and Evil. Also from Ranger we get Primeval Awareness, which also gives a spell prepared for free. And at this level we get Speak with Animals. Additionally, we can learn another first level spell, and Zephyr Strike allows us to cast it with a bonus action, and it increases our movement by 30 feet, and once before the spell ends we can gain advantage on an attack, and that attack deals an additional d8 damage. This requires both concentration and our bonus action, so can't be used with either Hunter's Mark or our Planar Warrior ability, but the extra movement and advantage is still worth the spell slot. However, we could use Longstrider instead, which improves our movement by 10 feet for an hour and doesn't require concentration. At 5th level, we take 4th level Ranger, getting an ability booster feat, and we want to take the Gunner feat, which allows us to add +1 to Dexterity, making ours 18. We become proficient with firearms, allowing us to use our ancestral knowledge for something else. We ignore the reloading property of firearms, which will let us use our War Priest ability to fire an extra shot, and it will also allow us to use extra attack with our pistol when we get that ability next level. Lastly, firing at an adjacent enemy does not give us a disadvantage on our attack, so if an enemy closes with us before we can draw our sword, we can just shoot it. We also have an additional 1st level and 2 2nd level spell slots, although we don't have any 2nd level spells yet. We can cast Hail of Thorns in the 2nd level slot, adding another d10 of damage, or if we took Longstrider, casting in a 2nd level slot allows us to target 2 creatures. At 6th level, we take 5th level Ranger, getting extra attack, allowing us to make 2 attacks instead of 1 when we take the attack action. Both attacks will benefit from Hunter's Mark, and we can use War Priest with our bonus action to make a 3rd attack, or Planar Warrior to increase the damage of one of our attacks. We also get another spell known, and it can be 2nd level. As you've probably noticed, one of the weaknesses of Ranger spellcasting is that there are a lot of concentration spells. And as we really want to keep our concentration on Hunter's Mark when possible, we will take good non-concentration spells if they're available. And Aid is a useful one to have, increasing the hit points and hit point maximum of 3 creatures by 5 for 8 hours. Unlike temporary hit points, these can be healed just as if they were natural until the spell ends. And from Horizon Walker we get Misty Step as an already prepared spell, and from Ranger we get Beast Sense for free as well. At 7th level, we take 6th level Ranger, and our Deft Explorer ability improves. Our walk speed increases by 5 feet, and we gain a swim and climb speed equal to our walking speed. Our favored foe also improves, increasing the mark damage to 1d6.
At 8th level, we'll be taking 7th level of Ranger. From Horizon Walker, we gain the Ethereal Step, allowing us to cast Etherealness spell once per short or long rest without expending a spell slot. We can learn another 2nd level spell, and Silence can be a very effective way to shut down an enemy spellcaster. At 9th level, we'll be taking 8th level of Ranger for an ability boost, and we're going to use it to make our Wisdom 16. Some of our spells have attack rolls and save DCs. This will also improve our Perception and Insight and allow us an additional use of War Priest. We also gain 2 3rd level spell slots, but we don't have any 3rd level spells. At 10th level, we taking 9th level of Ranger. From Horizon Walker, we gain Haste, prepared for free, and we gain Speak with Plants from Ranger. We also can learn another spell that can be of 3rd level, and we want Conjure Barrage, allowing us to fire our pistol, creating a 60-foot cone of bullets, dealing 3d8 damage to each creature in it that fails a Dexterity save. At 11th level, we're taking 10th level of Ranger, and our Depth Explorer ability improves again, giving us Tireless, that lets us use an action to gain 1d8 plus our Wisdom modifier and temporary hit points. We can do this a number of times a day per long rest equal to our proficiency bonus, and also whenever we finish a short rest, our level of exhaustion decreases by 1. We also get Nature's Veil, allowing us to use a bonus action to turn invisible until the start of our next turn. And we can do this a number of times a day equal to our proficiency bonus as well. This is an excellent ability for any ranger, but we can get some extra value out of it. We have the racial ability to teleport, and we will get more teleportation options later, so if our enemy knows we do this, and we use the invisibility, they might suspect we have teleported away instead, and not suspect we are still standing right in front of them. At 12th level, we're taking 11th level of Ranger. The extra damage we get from Planar Warrior increases to 2d8, and we gain the Distant Strikes ability, which in our opinion is the coolest part of being a Horizon Walker. When we take the attack action, we can teleport 10 feet before each attack to an unoccupied space we can see. And if we attack at least 2 times in this way, we can make a 3rd attack as part of that action. After which, we could also use our bonus action to make another attack with War Priest, or use Starlight Step to teleport 30 feet. This just seems to be the sort of flashy and favorable move that makes for memorable encounters. We also learn another spell, and it can be of 3rd level. The spell Lightning Arrow requires concentration and lasts for 1 minute. We can cast it as a bonus action, and then the next target we hit with a range attack takes 48 lightning damage instead of the weapon's normal damage. And whether you hit or miss, each creature within 10 feet of the target must make a dexterity save or take 2d8 lightning damage, or half if they succeed.
And at 13th level, we take 12th level Ranger, getting an ability booster feat, and we're going to improve our Constitution to 16, making us a little more hardy in battle. We also get a 4th level spell slot, but don't have any 4th level spells. However, many of our spells are very good to upcast. At 14th level, we take 13th level Ranger, and we learn 4th level spells. From Horizon Walker, we learn Banishment, which is an excellent way to defeat or at least neutralize a powerful enemy. From Ranger, we get Locate Creature, which can be handy when trying to rescue an ally or hunt down an enemy. We also learn one more spell, and it can be 4th level, and we want Stoneskin. The 110 gold pieces worth of diamond dust the spell consumes really limits how often we want to use it, but getting resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage is sometimes worth it. Now, we ignore this at our table, because while it's a good 4th level spell, it isn't so powerful it needs this kind of limitation. Maybe consider requiring a 100 gold piece component that isn't consumed by the spell.
Yeah.
And at 15th level, we take 14th level Ranger. Our favorite foe ability increases again, increasing the mark damage to 1d8. We also gain the Vanish ability, allowing us to hide as a bonus action, and we can't be tracked by non-magical means. We also gain a second 4th level spell slot. And at 16th level, we take 15th level Ranger. From Horizon Walker, we gain Spectral Defense, which lets us use our reaction to give ourselves resistance to all the damage from any attack that hits us. This ability is one of my favorite class abilities. It's functionally the same as the Rogue's Uncanny Dodge, with a different flavor. Even at 15th level, it is still a powerful effect. We also learn another 4th level spell, and either Conjure Woodland Beings or Summon Elemental can be a great way to get some reinforcement.
Yeah. At 17th level, we take 16th level of Ranger, get in an ability booster feat, and we need to cap our dexterity off at 20, both for our swordplay and pistol shooting. The increase in armor class will be helpful as well. We also get a 5th level spell slot, although we are lacking 5th level spells. At 18th level, we'll take 17th level of Ranger. We get another 4th level spell slot, and we learn a spell that can be 5th level, and we want Steel Wind Strike. This is a spell only available to Wizards and Rangers. Not only is it an excellent spell, it perfectly fits the theme for our character. We flourish our weapons and choose 5 targets and make a melee spell attack against all of them, doing 6d10 force damage to them on a hit. We can teleport to a space within 5 feet of one of the targets. The flavor of this is that we can teleport around attacking enemies, which is what we are all about. From Horizon Walker, we learn Teleportation Circle, and from Ranger, we get Commune with Nature, which is a very nice divination spell. At 19th level, we take 18th level of Ranger, getting Feral Senses. You are aware of invisible creatures within 30 feet unless they are hidden or if you are blinded or deafened, and we don't get disadvantage attacking invisible creatures. We also get a second 5th level spell slot. At 20th level, we take 19th level of Ranger, getting our last ability boost, and we want to boost our Wisdom to 18 for a better spell attack and save DC, and another use of our War Priest. We also learn another 5th level spell, and we want Conjure Volley. This is an upgrade of Conjure Barrage, which creates a 20 by 40 foot cylinder that deals 8d8 damage to creatures in it, although they can make a save for half damage.
To me, this seems like the sort of captain I like to see in a shipboard fantasy. The wise leader who stands with the crew in battle and leads them safely through danger. Not the cocky swashbuckler like Jack Sparrow, but more of a Captain Janeway from Star Trek. I hope you all enjoyed this character, and please tell us what you think in the comments, along with any suggestions or build ideas.
Yeah.
And we hope you'll join us next week when we make that cocky swashbuckler that every good crew needs.
Right.
Until next time.
Cheers.